care of the umbilical cord. Okay, here the keep the cord stump clean and dry. And okay, here the umbilical cord is cut. Okay, everything is there. That time you should clean the cord stump. Everything should be in dry. And topical application of antiseptic is usually not necessary unless the baby is living in a highly contaminated area. For example, here everything is good, there is no contamination. That time you never apply anything to that umbilical cord. Okay, if anything in a area is unsterile, that time you should keep the antiseptic lotion over the umbilical cord. Okay, here we will discuss about the umbilical cord, what it is there, what here the normally contains two arteries, one vein. Here the umbilical cord is having two arteries and one vein. This is the viva question. If the single artery is there, sometimes it is associated with the renal and other congenital anomalies. Look at the immediate after delivery, you should examine the umbilical cord. Normally, how many arteries is there in the umbilical cord? Two arteries, one vein is there. Okay, here two arteries, one vein is there. If it is single artery is there, that time it indicates that renal and other congenital anomalies is there in the baby. Okay, and then signs of infection around the insertion into the abdominal wall, redness and discharges, everything you should observe. Okay, here the from the abdomen insertion of the umbilical cord, it is there, no, that place if any infections, redness and discharge is there, you should identify the some infections is there. And if meconium staining associated with the intrauterine compromise or post maturity, how it may be, whenever this umbilical cord is compressed, automatically vitals may disturbed, that may call asphyxia. That time automatically baby is meconium is passed, baby passed the meconium is first stool. Okay, it is one of the indication of asphyxia, that cord is compressed during the mechanism of labor. Okay, that is by 24 hours become yellowish brown. This cord should be within 24 hours, that cord should be yellowish brown, dries and falls of approximately 10 to 14 days. This also viva question. When the umbilical cord is false, they are asking, that is 10 to 14 days. Okay, within 24 hours the color also will be change of the this umbilical cord, that color is yellow to brown color, yellowish brown color. Okay, when it is fall umbilical cord, 10 to 14 days after the delivery. The umbilical hernia defects in the abdominal walls also is there, everything you should observe the umbilical cord, if any umbilical hernia is there and everything. Okay, this is about the umbilical cord. Here the normally umbilical cord contain two arteries and one vein. If it is single artery is there, it is associated with the renal and other congenital anomalies. Okay, next one is cord blood collection. Why we are collecting the cord blood? Make sure cord blood is collected for analysis and sent to the laboratory for checking of RH blood type and hematocrit and possible cord blood gases. Here why we are checking means, if RH incompatibility is there, if mother is having negative group or father is having negative group, here they are having positive, RH incompatibility is there. Because RH incompatibility, first baby may live, if the second baby may having some abortions or some congenital malformations or any some problems is associated. So we are preventing of for that RH incompatibility, we should check the cord blood. And then cord blood collection also is very important for storage of blood, cord blood storage. Okay, this is about the cord blood collection. And next one is care of the eyes. Eyes should be clean at birth once in every day using sterile cotton swab soaked in the sterile water or normal saline. Separate swabs should be used for each eyes. How we are supposed to clean the eyes of the baby, newborn baby? Here, with using of clean sterile cotton swab soaked in a sterile water or normal saline. Okay, you should wipe the eyes from where to where? From inner canthus, where the nose starting point of the from the nose starting point of the eyes, that is called as inner canthus, to the outer canthus. We should clean one stroke, with one stroke, one swab sterile cotton swab, one stroke, and then clean from where to where? From the inner canthus to the outer canthus. That is very very important, cleaning of the eyes. Okay, that is. And next one is clothing of the baby. The baby should be dressed with loose, soft, and cotton cloth. The frock should be open on the front or back for easy wearing. Okay, if it is large buttons, synthetic frocks, and plastic or nylon napkins should be avoided. Okay, whenever you are clothing the baby, it should be cotton cloth only, and then soft cloth only should be preferable. It should be preferred for front or back open easily wearing dresses only. You should prefer for the clothing of the baby. Okay, and next one is general care. What is the general care of the newborn baby? First one is rooming in. You know about what is rooming in. You should keep the baby along with the mother or caregiver. Okay, and gentle approach. Okay, don't use hardly take the baby. Okay, gentle approach is very very important. Aseptic techniques also you should follow, and sensory stimulation, you should stimulate the reflexes, and tender and love is very very important. And next you should observe the baby, newborn baby. What is the observation? The baby should be kept in continuous observation twice daily for detection of any abnormalities. Okay, you should check the baby. If the baby is physical examination is very very important by observation. Okay, if any deformities is there, look at that picture, cleft lip and cleft palate is there, and then observe the baby. Here the spina bifida, and then observe the, if the baby is crying, okay, that time you should observation. Okay, when any abdominal discomfort is there and everything, observation is very very important to detecting of abnormalities of the newborn. And next one is you should check the respiration of the baby. Here the rate normally between 40 to 60 breaths per minute is there. That is the respiration of the newborn, influenced by the sleep wake status, when last fed, drugs taken by the mother, and the room temperature. That also may change the respirations. Here the breath sounds also is determined for the baby by auscultation. Here the bronchial sounds are heard over the most of the chest. Here the bronchial sounds, and then rails. Mostly rail sounds we are heard immediately after the birth, and expiratory gruntings. Here the expiratory gruntings mostly we have seen in the respiratory distress syndrome babies. Okay, some distress is there in the babies. Okay, that time here the expiratory gruntings we are identifying. This is about the respiration. Normal respiration of the baby is 40 to 60 breaths per minute. If baby is wake up or sleeping, when the baby is last fed, is the their drugs of mother is taking some drugs, that time also it may change the respiration. Okay, next one is cardiovascular system. Here what we are identifying in the cardiovascular system means, here we have to check about the pulse rate and then heart rate. Here the rate is normal between 110 to 160 breaths per minute. Normally in adult, normal pulse rate is how much? That is 72 to 80 pulse rate it is there. Okay, pulse rate or heart rate both are same. But in the newborns, the normal pulse rate or heart rate is 110 to 160 breaths per minute is there. That is 80 to 110 normal with the deep sleep. If the child is deep sleep, that time 80 to 110 it is there. That also is normal. Okay, here influenced by the behavioral state, environmental, temperature, medication, take apical count for the 1 minute. Here If any abnormality is there, that is environmental change, medications, that time one may you have to check another count for 1 minute. Okay, this is about the cardiovascular system. Here the heart sounds. The heart sound, second sound higher in pitch and sharp than first. Okay, third and fourth sounds rarely heard. Murmurs commonly, murmurs common. Majority are transistent of beginning. Here the hard sounds, that is second sound higher in pitch it is there, and then sharp than the first hard sound. This is third and fourth sounds we are rarely heard. The murmurs are common. Majority are transitory and beginnings. Okay, this is about the cardiovascular system. Pulse examine equally and strength of brachial, radial, pedal and femoral pulse. You should check everything. And lack of femoral pulse indicative of inadequate aortic blood flow. If it is a femoral pulse is not having properly, that time you should it indicate that aorta, inadequate aortic blood flow is there. Okay, and whenever baby is having cyanosis, examine for the cyanosis. A cyanosis of distal extremities is common. Record location of any cyanosis, color changes with time, and when the baby is crying, everything. Okay, if the child is having cyanosis, you have observed in the child's appearance. Okay, what it is there in the pink color, normally pink in color it is there. Okay, but what happen if it is cyanosis, it is there, how we are supposed to give body is pink, extremities is cyanosis, that time you are giving 1 point only, no. Here everything you should identify. Whenever immediate after cry, extremities is filling with the pink color. Okay, the cyanosis is gone. So everything you should identify. When the cyanosis is there, the location of the cyanosis, if it is extremities or body of the part, everything you should observe. And then color changes within the time, and when the baby is crying, everything you should observe. This is about the cardiovascular system. Nothing is there in the cardiovascular system. A rate is normal in between 110 to 160 breaths per minute is there, that is heart rate. Heart sound should be higher, that is second heart sound is higher in pitch than the first heart sound. Okay, and here the pulses examine equally and strengthen the here what are the pulses we have to check, that is brachial pulse, radial pulse, pedal pulse and femoral pulse, everything you have to check. Okay, and observe the cyanosis. Okay, how what the cyanosis is there, the time period and location of the cyanosis, and whether the baby is crying or not, everything you have to record. This is about the cardiovascular system. And next you should observe the abdomen. Palpate abdomen for masses. Gap between the rectal muscles is commonly palpate liver and then spleen. Okay, you should identify any mass is there in the abdomen. Everything you should assess by palpation of the abdomen. Liver has decreased ability to conjugate bilirubin. Okay, so the rationale for physiological jaundice is there. Okay, if child is having physiological jaundice, liver is having decreased ability to conjugate the bilirubin. Okay, that time what have happened here. And next, liver has decreased production of prothrombin and factors that depends on vitamin K for synthesis. So artificially, externally we are administering the vitamin K. When? Because prothrombin and factors also is decreased, so capacity to clotting mechanism is impaired, so automatically externally we are administering the vitamin K injections. The rationale for neonates is predisposition to hemorrhage. Okay, here we have to prevent the hemorrhage, so we are administering the vitamin K. And auscultate abdomen in all four quadrants. For bowel sounds, usually bowel sounds occur an hour after the delivery. Immediate after 1 hour, baby is having bowel sounds. Whenever the bowel sounds is there, it indicates that baby's need for the feeding. Okay, that is about the abdomen. And next one is Pattern of elimination. Here the pattern of elimination, everything you should observe, that is stools and voiding. Okay, stool. In first baby is passing stool, that is called as meconium. Okay, whenever if a baby first passage of stools, that is called as meconium. Meconium is usually passed within 24 hours. If any baby is not passed the meconium, means first stool, okay, within 24 hours, it indicates that some intestinal obstruction or imperforated anus is there. Okay, that time everything you should observe and go for the doctor. And next one is passage of meconium. How the composition of meconium? It is terry green black stools. Meconium, how it look like means terry green black stools. Okay, and continues for the 48 hours. These type of stools continue for the 48 hours, followed by any transitional stools. Transitional stools means it is a combination of meconium and yellow or milk stools. It is mixing with first 48 hours full green, means terry green black stools is there. We have to observe first 48 hours. After 48 hours, okay, these stools is called as transitional stools. It is a combination of the meconium, means green color, and then yellow color or milk stool color also is there. Okay, it is mixing. The milk stools, that is yellow, are passed by fifth day. Okay, after fifth day only it is yellow in color, the stools become in yellow color. Okay, first the meconium, the color and consistency how it is means terry green black stools is there. Okay, within 48 hours it should be there. After 48 hours the transitional stools it is there. The transitional stools are mixing or combination of meconium, yellow or milk stools is there. Okay, milk stools usually passed after 5 days of the delivery. Okay, that is about neonate has up to 6 stools per day in a first week after the birth is there. Okay, in each day neonate is passing minimum 6 stools per day, first week of life it is there. Okay, that is about the pattern of the stools. Okay, if viva question they are asking meconium, what is the consistency, what is the composition of meconium, and what is the color of the meconium, everything they are asking. What is the transitional stools, everything they are asking for viva question. You should learn for this meconium. Okay, and next one is voiding. Neonate void within first 24 hours. Immediately after 24 hours, automatically baby is void the urine. If it is not there, lower abdomen is distended and at the same time some obstruction is there. Okay, that is congenital malformation. After first few days, infant voids from 10 to 15 time per day is there. If it is stools in first week, how many times baby is passing? 6 stools for each day. First 1 week baby is passing. Here the after first few days, infant void from 10 to 15 times per each day is there. This is about the pattern of elimination, about stools and then urine. Okay, and next we will identify about the anthropometric measurements, that is measuring of the weight, measuring of baby's length, head circumference, chest circumference. This class already is over. Okay, what is the normal Indian weight? 2.5 to 3 kgs. Okay, everything the class is over. How to measure the anthropometric measurements. Okay, next go for the immunization. Here the newborn should be immunized with BCG vaccine and 0 dose of oral polio vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine can be administered at birth as first dose and other 2 doses in 1 month and 6 months of age. Okay, this is about the immunization. Already this class also is over. Okay, this is about the national immunization schedule. Look at this picture. Here BCG vaccine for infants, BCG vaccine is there. Look at this one, BCG vaccine. When to give means at birth, as early as possible you should administer the BCG vaccine. Maximum age, if it is at birth, if it is BCG vaccine is not given, till 1 year you should wait. Okay, till 1 year you should give this BCG vaccine. The dose of the BCG vaccine is 0.1 ml, that is there, and the diluent means sodium chloride. The route of the BCG vaccine is intradermal, and then site of the BCG vaccine is left upper arm. This is very very important. Already this immunization schedule is over. After that you should administer the 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. That vaccines are hepatitis B, and then OPV, and then DPT. These are the vaccines should be given at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks. This is about the national immunization schedule. And next one is follow up and advice. Each infant should be followed up at last one every month for first 3 months. Okay, and subsequently 3 months intervals till 1 year of the age. We should follow. Follow up is very very important. And next one is because of some harmful traditional practices of newborn, baby may affect asphyxia, and then some complications, infections, complications, and morbidity is so high because of harmful traditional practices. What are the harmful traditional practices they are followed in our India? I will give some points. Whenever you are identifying, whenever you are giving health education, you should include these harmful traditional practices, not to practice that. Okay, first one is use of pre-lactic feeds. In our India, mostly everybody is using of pre-lactic feeds, that is before initiation of breastfeeding only they are keeping on the baby's tongue, or the baby's tongue, that is honey or whatever it may be, that is pre-lactic feeds. Okay, mostly we have seen this one in the labor rooms. Use of unclean substance such as cow dung, mud on the umbilical cord. Okay, in if it is home delivery, if it is rural deliveries is there, that time how they are doing means to cleaning of umbilical cord means that is cow dung and using of mud, they apply the umbilical cord for protection. Okay, that also one of the harmful traditional practice. And next one is application of kajal in the newborn's eyes. Here the kajal they are applying their baby's eyes, it may producing it may harmful for the baby's eyes vision. Okay, that also one of the harmful traditional practice. And immediate bathing without they are identifying the baby is having cyanosis, or baby is having asphyxia, that time also if it is preterm baby, nowadays we won't give for the bath for preterm baby because their Vernix caseosa, their subcutaneous fat is very less, so we won't give the first bath for the preterm babies. Okay, but here the immediate bathing they are doing. Okay, in the some harmful traditional practices, that also is avoided. And initiation of oil drops into the eyes and nostrils. Okay, some garlic oil or coconut oil they are instilled in the eyes and ears and the nostrils, that also should be avoided. And next one is introduction of artificial feeding with the diluted milk. Okay, without mother's breast milk, that is the first breast milk is having colostrum, it is rich protein, calories and everything is there, but they are squeezed that colostrum, and they won't give colostrum for the babies. That time what they are giving, introduction of artificial feeding with the diluted milk. Okay, cow milk everything diluted they are giving, that is not good for the baby's health. Okay, colostrum is mixing with the IgG, IgM immunoglobulins. It may protect the baby's immune levels. Okay, and next one is use of pacifiers. Here the pacifiers means without giving of any breast milk, they are, look at that picture. Okay, what they are doing means giving of pacifiers for that baby's mouth. That time baby is what baby is doing means continuously sucking. Okay, the pressure is deviating, the oral pressure is deviating. Okay, that also one of the harmful traditional practice uses of pacifiers. Look at the picture. Okay, that is called as pacifiers. And next one is during bathing the babies use unhygienic herbal water, means neem water and some leaves they are using for bathing. Okay, that also is unhygienic herbal baths. Okay, that also should be avoided. And use of ready made expensive formula foods. Okay, here they are ready madely using for the formula foods, means using of powder, milk powders and everything. Okay, and that also should be avoided. Breast milk is best for the babies. And give optimum and brandy to the neonates. Giving opinion. Okay, here this is about the uh, harmful traditional practices for the newborns. Okay, and next coming we will discuss about the nursing diagnosis of as a newborn care. Here the first one is ineffective airway clearance related to nasal and oral secretions for delivery. Okay, here because of uh, ineffective airway clearance, it is related to the nasal or oral secretions from the delivery. Okay, next one is ineffective thermoregulation related to the environment and immediate ability for adaptation. Okay, that also is one of the nursing diagnosis. And third one is a risk for injury related to immature defense of the newborn. Okay, that is about the nursing diagnosis. And risk for infection related to immature immune system. Okay, these are the nursing diagnosis. Ineffective airway clearance, ineffective thermoregulation, risk for injury related to immature deafness of the newborn. Okay, and risk for infections related to immature immune system. These are the nursing diagnosis. Okay, all of you understood what is essential newborn care. Here the essential newborn care is very important for third year BSc nursing. It is one of the 15 marks question. Before that, everybody should learn about the in this what is skin to skin contact, what is how to maintain warmth, how to give cord care, how to provide immediate care for the baby, and then what are the how to prevent the harmful practices, and immunization schedule, APGAR score, everything you should learn in this essential newborn care. Okay, I hope everybody is understood about today's topic.